Hiya, this is Mystery Redacted, aka Red, and this piece I've called Bubble because I couldn't think of anything. I was thinking of bubbles. And also there's a cat in here called Smokey. He's grey and male, and he probably doesn't like me talking, but he has to put up with it because he's in my butt cove. If you're wondering what a butt cove is, I have a settee in my room, a couch, whatever you call it in American lingo. I have that in my room, and because I sit in one place constantly for years, well, it's gone into the shape of my butt, and Smokey found that that's the perfect place to sleep all the time. He's a purr monster. Like, if he meows through this recording, I won't be able to use this recording because his meow is a howl. I feel like he has the spirit of a wolf or something because he howls incredibly loudly. Like, you can't hear anything else except him meowing. But luckily he seems to be staying asleep. He's not really a fighter cat either. He's more of a lover than anything else, which is funny because he's sterile. But yeah, he doesn't really look for fights and stuff. He just likes lazing around and being fed, like most house cats. But Raven is a different story. Raven is a black cat, and he's feral. He is feral. He was born in the streets, but he came over to my mum for some reason, and kittens and my mum, that's a weakness right there. So yeah. So we got Raven from when he was a little kitty cat. And the thing about Raven is that he has a lot of weird traits that we don't know where they came from, because I don't think feral cats act like it. The first weird thing is aesthetically, he's a weird cat. If ever I can show you a photo of him, I will. But one of his main traits that you know, that's Raven, is because he kind of has his tail curled like a Shiba. Yeah, like a dog, his tail is curled, and I mean really curled up onto his back. And like, we have never seen another cat look like that, because we're in France, so it's really weird. But yeah, that's one of his main traits. As soon as you see him, you're like, that's Raven. The other thing is that he is incredibly skittish. You just have to walk towards him for him to run away in fear. Just walking towards him does that. And Lord forbid if the dog's in the way. If the dog's in the way of the door, he's not getting in anytime soon. But yeah, he also likes catching birds, which we're surprised at, really, that he can catch any bird. Oh, when it comes to him catching birds and mice, the main reason we have cats, the main reason we did, besides me really wanting cats, is that we live next to a field, and so field mice are kinda common. So having a cat means that, well, they'll chase them, and so we won't have mice running all over the place. But Raven is particularly ferocious with them. And I mean terribly ferocious. Because when we go out and see the remains of Smokey normally just brings us a full mouse. Like, it's dead, but it's a full mouse, because he knows he will get better food. Like, we give him better food. But with Raven, I think it's the feral side in him. He will straight up eat like half of it. Now the thing is, there's always an organ that he does not eat. He does not eat it. We think it's the liver, but we're not sure. And then he'll just kind of leave the butt end of the mouse, and then there will be nothing else. So yeah, very creepy. The other thing about Raven is his meow. His meow is... Ooh, that's a special meow. The only way we've ever been able to describe it, for it to make perfect sense to anyone, is his meow sounds like a dog trying to meow. He doesn't really pronounce the beginning of it, and it kind of trails off, like it's kind of... It sounds like a dog trying to meow, and it's really bad meow, but it gets our attention. And the other thing that he's very peculiar about a lot of things. Very, very peculiar. One of those things is with water. Now, he likes demanding us for water. And his favourite water hole is the sink in the bathroom. Now, here's the thing. You can't just fill it up and leave it and he'll drink out of it. No, 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 no. You have to go in there with him, fill it up until he's pleased, and then you have to stand there with him while he drinks. Because every now and again, he'll look up at you and be like, is this alright for me to do? And you have to stroke him, and then he'll continue. And he'll spend about 5-10 minutes doing that. So you're just standing in the bathroom next to him, stroking him every now and again and watching him drink. He's a special boy. Yeah, absolute special boy. But yeah, he also, unlike our other two cats, he also tried to teach my mum to hunt by bringing live birds and stuff. And as you can imagine, my mum was not pleased. Yeah, we also have a dog. He's called Junior. He's a black dog. He's very excitable. Like, everything's just a new friend to him. He has tons of new friends. Of course, he barks. And that's the thing I never got about other people's dogs. That's always so weird. They're like, the dog barks and they're just like, he does that sometimes. And I'm like, what? He just barks for no reason. Oh yeah, he just does that from time to time. And like, when it comes to Junior, if he barks, we're immediately up and at him, because he only barks if someone is near the gate. That is the only reason he'll bark. If there's a chicken in the garden, he won't bark. If there's a cat in the garden, he won't bark. He'll only bark if someone is coming into the garden that he doesn't know. That is the only reason he barks. He also does another thing that a lot of people get scared of, first of all. He does it sounds like growls and ruffs and all that. But honestly, he's just talkative when he's excited. When he gets really excited, he just kind of talks to you a lot. And you just go like that friend that you don't really want to listen to their story, and you kind of off daydreaming, you just go, yeah. But yeah. The only other two pets we have that are alive, we've had a lot of pets, but most of them have sadly died. We got 2 tortoises. I know, very peculiar pet to have, but yeah, we have 2 tortoises. And my word, do they poop and pee a lot. Like, so much poop and pee. And a lot of people say they're like slow creatures. I disagree, because I have lost those tortoises more times than I can count. Like, honestly, I've started calling one SlenderTort, because it's like you go off, you look at something for a minute, you turn back and he's not there. And he's just like slightly closer to you. Oh, that's the thing. The tortoises bullied Junior once. Now, you probably You probably think Junior's like this little tiny dog. No, he's a large dog. And he got bullied by these tiny tortoises that is not even the height of my foot. How he got bullied by the tortoises is because Junior is also very peculiar with certain things. Honestly, almost all our animals have been peculiar about something. With Junior, when he's standing, he does not like you to touch his paws. He does not like his paws being touched. He is not happy about that. And so, the thing about tortoises is that they can't really go backwards, and they kind of just go forwards like a car, which means they do big turns left and right. They can't do a sharp turn. And the bigger tortoise, because there's one that's bigger than the other, was going forwards, and of course he started to turn, but Junior was standing there like an idiot, and so the tortoise kept going into the back of his paws, which he didn't like. And so after repeated offences of that, he just decided to go off. Like, he was done with the tortoises hitting the back of his feet very gently, because they're tortoises. Yeah. They're two male tortoises, and what is that it feels like they haven't figured out that the other one's male yet. Like, they have not. So that means you get the fun times of them trying to practice doing the do, and of course failing because the other one doesn't want to do the do because it's a male. They even sometimes fight. I don't know if you ever seen tortoises fight. It's fairly amusing. They weren't fighting for real, of course. We would have broken them up if they were, but there were no females. There's no females, there's only two males, so they don't actually fight. They're fine with each other, they even help each other out. But they do play fight from time to time, and like I said, watching two tortoises play fight is very amusing. Because pretty much what they do is that they go for the feet. You try and chomp the feet. But the thing is that the other one's moving as well. So it's really like a slow motion wrestling match. Where it's just kind of one... No, it's slow motion tag. It's slow motion tag because it's just... You're almost touching the person and then they move again. And it's like, oh no. Tortoises, they're funny little creatures. I don't think I could ever take care of one because, honestly, if you ever think about taking care of a tortoise, look it up because they are high maintenance. They are really high maintenance. They need food at a certain time, they need water at a certain time, they need to hibernate in winter and all that. They are truly high maintenance. I would like a lot of animals. I find a lot of animals adorable and cute and all that. But if someone asked me, oh, would you get your dream dog and all that, I just go no. Because I like the aesthetic of them. Yeah, I like how they look. I like how they act. I like huskies. Huskies are my favourite dog breed. But I know my capabilities. And I know that with a dog, I could not handle a dog. I was exhausted after walking Junior for a week and feeding him. I know for a fact that I could not handle a dog or bird or whatever. I know there's only one thing that I can handle, and that's a cat. Because even though people say they're like high maintenance and stuff, they're really not. Like, yeah, you need to be there sufficiently for them, to care for them, to stroke them, to give them a bit of love and all that, and to feed them, of course, but Compared to a dog, dog is like having a baby in your house 24/7, because he won't ever learn. He will only learn the tricks that you tell him repeatedly. Anyway, that will do it for now. Ta-ta!